title I would like to present is Climate Change and Global Warming. These are the outlines for my presentation. What is climate change? Climate change refers to significant long-term changes in the global climate. The global climate is the connected system of sun, earth and ocean, wind, rain and snow, forests, deserts and savannas, and everything people do too. Climate is a change in the statistical distribution of weather pattern when that changes lasts for an extended period of time, that is a decade to millions of years. Climate change is caused by factors such as biotic processes, variations in solar radiation received by Earth's plate tectonics and volcanic eruption. Certain human activities have been identified as primary causes of ongoing climate change, often referred to as global warming. What is global warming? Global warming refers to an increase in the Earth's temperature causing changes to climate. A warmer Earth may lead to changes in rainfall patterns, a rise in sea level, a wide range of impacts on plants, wildlife, and humans. These figures show the climate's connection because of the greenhouse gas trap energy causing the secondary effects and primary effects such as warmer oceans and stronger storms like this. These are the evidence of climate change: warming oceans, glacier retreats, global temperature rise, decreased snow cover, and shrinking ice sheet, and also decreasing Arctic sea ice, sea level rise, ocean acidification, and extreme events. These figures show the increasing global temperatures from 1884 to 2016. The time series above shows 5 years variations of global surface temperatures. Dark blue indicates areas cooler than the average, and the dark red indicates areas warmer than the average. These figures show the Arctic sea ice decreasing from 1979 to 2016. An average monthly Arctic sea ice extends in September since 1979. The sea ice declining at a rate of 13.3% per decade. These figures show the decreasing land ice from 2003 to 2016. These are the data from the NASA GRACE satellites and showing the left chart is Antarctica and the right side is Greenland. They are losing the mass since 2002. Both ice sheets have been an acceleration of ice mass loss since 2009. These figures show the increasing amount of carbon dioxide from 2002 to 2016. The time series shows the global distributions and variation of the concentrations of tropospheric carbon dioxide in parts per million. The overall color of the map shifts towards the red with advancing time due to the annual increase of carbon dioxide. These figures show the increasing the sea level. Sea level's rise is caused primarily by two factors related to global warming: the added water from melting ice sheets and glaciers, and the expansion of seawater as it warms. The above graph, derived from coastal tide gauge data, shows how much sea level changed from about 1870 to 2000. This graph tracks the change in sea level since 1993 as above by the satellite. And then I would like to continue causes of climate change. As natural causes are causes that are created by nature. One natural causes relate to methane gas from Arctic tundras and wetlands. Methane is a greenhouse gas and a very dangerous gas to our environment. A greenhouse gas is a gas that traps heat in the Earth's atmosphere. Another natural cause is that the Earth goes through a cycle of climate change. This climate change usually lasts about 40,000 years. These figures show the natural greenhouse effect and the human enhanced greenhouse effect. Because of the human behaviors, less heat escapes into the space and the walls becomes warmer than before. These are the natural sources of greenhouse gases. There is a forest fire, methane from the landfills, carbon dioxide from soils, volcanic eruption, and the nitrous as from the breakdown of nitrogens in soils and ocean, and also from the energies generating from this industry, and the smoke from the transportation, hydrofluorocarbons from refrigerators, and the black carbons, and also emissions from the agriculture and the forestry. And then I would like to continue impact on climate change. Because of the climate change, ecosystem will be destroyed due to the flooding, typhoon, drought, wildfires, etc. These photos are taken in my country as a flooding, droughts, and typhoon. For agriculture and food security, added heat threats, shifting monsoons, drier soils, and water shortage as a result of higher temperature will affect livestock and crop production pattern, with a expanded range of weeds, insects, and diseases, which may reduce global food supplies and contribute to higher food prices. For every 1 degree increase in temperature, rice yield will decrease by 0.6 ton per hectare. For every 75 parts per million of carbon dioxide concentration, rice yield will decrease by 0.5 ton per hectare. Consequently, the low productivity and food shortage occur, and the loss of income for poor farmers and fishermen. For the water resources, extreme events like floods and droughts are likely to become more frequent. More frequent floods and droughts will affect the water qualities and availability. Increase in drought in some areas may increase the frequency of water shortage and leads to more restrictions on water usage. And overall increases in precipitation may increase water availabilities in some regions, but also create greater flood potential. These photos are from happens in my country. For the human health, increased health problems and death due to the greater frequency and severities of heat waves and other extreme weather events. Increased distributions of malaria and other vector-borne diseases, and also declining air quality in cities, since greater heat can also worsen air pollution such as ozone or smokes. For the desertifications and land degradation, conditions in deserts more extreme, hotter but not wetter. Organisms are close to heat tolerant. Land near deserts will undergo desertification. Land degradations are likely to occur. Examples are heavy rainfalls, increased leaching. In the coastal area, homes of the people living along the coast may be impacted by sea level rise and increase in storm intensity. Rising sea may contribute to enhanced coastal erosion, coastal flooding, loss of coastal wetlands, and increased risks of property storm surges. Energy. Warmer temperatures may result in higher energy bill for air conditions in summer and low bills for heating in winter. Energy usage is also connected to water needs. Energy is needed for irrigation, which will most likely increase due to climate change. Also, energy is generated by hydropower in some regions, which will also be impacted by changing precipitation pattern. For the wildlife, warmer temperatures and precipitation changes will likely affect the habitats and migratory patterns of many types of wildlife. The range and distributions of many species will change, and some species that cannot move or adapt may face extinction. For the adaptations and mitigation option, these are the strategies and adaptations and mitigation. Reducing methane emissions via integrated rice and livestock system. Reducing nitrous oxide emission that can lead to improved groundwater quality and reduce loss of biodiversity. Integrating animal manure waste management system, including biogas captures and utilization for reductions of methane and nitrous oxide. Restoring land by the controlled grazing that can lead to soil carbon sequestration, have positive impacts on livestock productivity. Practicing agroforestry that can promote soil carbon sequestration while also improving agroecosystem functions and resilience of climate extreme by enriching soil fertility and soil water retention. These are the adaptation strategies in agriculture: altering imports, varieties and species, fertilizer rates, altering amounts and timing of irrigation and other water management, the timing or locations of cropping activities. Managing river basins for more efficient delivery of irrigation services and prevent water logging, erosions and nutrient leaching. diversifying income through the integrations of activities such as livestock raising, fish productions and rice paddies, etc. Making a wider use of integrated pest and pathogen management, increasing use of climate forecasting to reduce production risks, undertaking changes in forest management, introducing forest conservation, agroforestry, and forest-based enterprises for diversification of rural income, reducing the levels of fiction and in order to sustain yields of fish stock. These are the examples of plant adaptation. That includes water, expanded rainwater harvesting, water shortage and conservation techniques, water reuse, desalination, water use and irrigation facility. For infrastructure, relocation, seawalls and storm surge barrier, dune reinforcement, land acquisitions and creations of marshland as buffer against. For the human health, heat health action plans, emergency medical services, improve climate-sensitive disease, surveillance and control, safe waters and improve sanitation. For tourism, diversifications of tourism attraction and revenues, shifting ski slope of higher altitudes and glacier, artificial snow making. For the transport, relocation, designing standards and planning for roads, rails and other infrastructures to cope with warming and drainage. For the energy, strengthening of overhead transmissions and distribution infrastructure, underground cabling of utilities, energy efficiency, use of renewable sources, and reduce dependence on single sources of energy. These are some examples of mitigation of climate change, flood controls in Netherlands, and constructions of the dike as in the Texas. These are the solar powers used in the Myanmar, and these are the nuclear powers used in the China. Meets growing electricity demand and address environmental concern. These are the actions needed to facilitate adaptation responses, climate monitoring efforts and communications of information, policies that support research, system analysis, extension capacity, industries and regional networks, investment in new technologies or management strategies, training for new job based on new land uses, industry relocations and human migration, and then new infrastructures, policies and institutions. Policies must maintain the capacity to make continuing adjustment and improvement in adaptation through learning by doing so with targeted monitoring of adaptations to climate change and their costs, benefits, and effects. These are the actions to reduce the effects of climate change, integrated coastal management, forest protections and reforestation, water source protection, and finally educate the people about environmental protection. As for conclusions, warming or climate change is needed for everyone, regions, and every country. And I would like to say strongly, environmental protection is the protection of our life. That's all my presentation.